So you started dating a guy and you really like him, like really like him. And then the worst happens. He starts to pull away. What do? Do you chase him? Do you freak out? What do you do? Well, if you don't know what to do when the guy you like pulls away, this show's for you. And we have a whole lot to talk about. Okay, let me first just start out by saying that this is a very common thing. So I know when this happens to you, you're thinking you're the only woman in the world that it is happening to, that, all other women, just have guys falling all over them. And that is definitely not true. So do not think that this is not the only time that this has happened. In fact, it happens more often than you think. Happened to me before, so I know how it is. It really stinks. I know it. But what can you do? What should you say? What should you, how should you act? So I know the title of this is what you should say when he pulls away, right? Well, I'm going to start off with the trick question because that title is a little bit tricky. There are a lot of other dating coaches out there who will tell you, oh, you have to say this, you have to say this, and you have to say this. And when you do this and you act this way, then he's going to come back to you and he's going to stop pulling away. And that's just the magic wand. But I'm a little bit more like Dr. Phil. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And a lot of people don't like hearing what they need to hear. Why? Well, because it's not fun, right? I want to have some magic potion, magic wand to give you magic words that you can just say and you can just poof, magically get the right guy, the perfect guy, have him never pull away. But that's just not reality. That's just not, people are complex. There's no one little line or one little thing anyone can do to make somebody come back. So instead of me telling you what you should say to him or how you should act with him, I'm going to flip it around. A lot of coaches will not tell you this stuff, okay? So instead of talking to him and figuring out what you should say to him to get him back, you know what you really need to do? You need to talk to yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? Self-talk is everything, okay? Usually we have negative self-talk in our heads. And it's like, I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm too fat. That's why he went away. He sees other girls as prettier than me. And, that's why he's pulling away. No, do not have that self-talk. Talk to yourself and say, okay, so he's pulling away. So what? Why do I care? Okay, I care because I like him a lot. Okay, well, why do I like him a lot? You've probably never thought of that stuff. When we like guys, it's just more of this emotion that we have. And it's not logical. When I ask people, let's say somebody was in a relationship and the guy really didn't treat her very well. And he breaks up with her. And she's like, oh my gosh, I just want him back so much because, I love him. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he, said mean things to you. He cheated on you and he did all these other bad things. So why do you love him? And they're like, well, I don't know. I just do. I'm like, no, that doesn't cut it. You need reasons why you love someone. I know that sounds weird because everybody's like, well, love is just a feeling. Well, yeah, love is a feeling, but why would you love somebody who doesn't treat you well or doesn't want to be with you? That's the stuff that you need to talk to yourself about. So I'll set that aside here for a second and I'll go to some things that you can do during this time when he pulls away. You don't know if he's coming back. He might, but he might not. So you cannot guarantee that he's going to come back. And you just need to accept that. So what should you do? Should you call him, text him, chase after him? Because a lot of women think that that's going to bring him back. You know, when he starts to run away, we panic and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't let him run away. I have to go get him. No, 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 no. No, you don't. In fact, you should do the opposite. You should just act normal. Don't text him more. Don't call him more. In fact, you should actually mirror his behavior. You know, if he's distancing himself, distance yourself. You know, don't respond to him distancing himself by giving him more attention. No, because that will chase him further away because he's going to find it annoying. Like, oh my gosh, I'm like distancing myself and she's not letting me have the distance. Now, keep in mind, we don't know why he's distancing himself. Maybe it is something that you said or did. Big deal. You know, you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And even if, you know, you probably did nothing wrong. Like, I'm thinking of this one guy who pulled away from me. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I'm the opposite of needy or chase. You know, I don't chase guys. I mean, I like myself. I think I'm pretty good company. And I'm not saying that because I'm conceited or anything. I just have pretty good self-esteem. And that's what you need to get, good self-esteem. So anyway, when this guy pulled away from me, there was, in my mind, absolutely no reason. I didn't do anything wrong. And even if, you know, he thought I did something wrong, well, that's his problem, not mine, you know. And yeah, it kind of freaked me out because I actually really did like him too. But what did I do? I acted normal. He distanced himself. I distanced myself. I just went on with my life. I just kept busy. I went out with friends. I had kids. I didn't sit around and cry all the time or, you know, complain to all my friends and my sisters and my family like, oh my gosh, what happened and what's wrong with me? How do I get it back? No, I just went on with my life. That's all you can do. I mean, it's not all you can do. You can torture yourself. You can chase after this guy, but why would you want to do that? I mean, that's a real serious question. Why would you want to do that? Because chasing after somebody, A, does not work, and B, it probably has the opposite. And think about this. Okay, let's say even the scenario was like mine, where, you know, he really, allegedly, really liked me. Like, we spent a lot of time together. Like, I thought we were, you know, going down the path to a relationship. And about a month and a half, 2 months in, that's when he he basically ghosted me. He just kind of disappeared. Like, what the heck? I thought we were having fun. However, I did look back and there were a bunch of red flags that I kind of ignored and I had a gut feeling about, but, you know, I just ignored it, right? And that didn't do me any good. I should have listened to that. But, you know, why do you want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you? That's the real question. Like, I wanted to be with him. At least I thought I did. But when I look back, why? Why would I want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with me? I want to be with somebody who wants to be with me, who can't imagine my life or his life without me, right? Isn't that what we all want? So when he pulled away and ghosted on me, I'm like, well, I thought I wanted him, but if he doesn't want me, then I don't want him. And that's the attitude you need to have. Again, no magic words, nothing can bring him back unless he wants to come back. Sure, you can bait him, you can tell him, you can beg him, and he might come back, but is that how you really want him? Do you want him only because you begged him to and he couldn't say no? No, you don't want that. So you know what you need to do? You just need to let him go. Say, bye. Your loss, not mine. You know, you need to love yourself enough to not care if somebody leaves because they just don't know a good thing when they see it. It is their loss. It is. And you need to believe that. And that's why I'm not the dating coach who's going to tell you how to act and what to say to get a guy back, because it doesn't work. And that sounds depressing, but it's not. You know why? You know why it's not depressing? It's actually really good news. And here's why. Because that means he's not your person. If a guy is that willing to walk out of your life and pull back and disappear, he's not your guy. Why would you want to be with someone who's not your person, who's not your guy, who doesn't want to be with you again? You don't. So the good news is when you let Mr. Wrong walk out of your life, guess what? That leaves room for Mr. Right to walk into your life. Because when you have Mr. Wrong just around and staying around just because you're too desperate to let him go, well, then the right guy can't find you because that guy is occupying that space in your life. So think about it that way. Why would you want to pull a man back if he doesn't want to be pulled back? Think about it. And it really starts with self-love. You really do need to love yourself enough to let men come and go in your life, because the right one will stay, and you will not have to do any tricks or anything or play any games at all to make him stay, because he will want to stay out of his own free will. And that's what you want. All right, well, that is it for this episode of Her Side and His Side. And stick around for the next time, and we hope to see you then. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Until next time, peace out.